Welcome back. Some sneaky, huge news as we check in on our social life. The Ravens signing veteran wide receiver, former teammate of Shady and myself, but one of Shady's closest friends, LeSean Jackson. He had a big workout today, and Drew Rosenhaus says that he is getting signed. 2-5. Coming to you first. You happy for your boy? How you feel about it? How you feel about it?
Action Jackson. I can say it now. Action Jackson drops back. He goes to the LeSean Jackson deep for 80-yard ball. Touchdown, Ravens. How'd that sound?
That must have been in the first half.
Oh, wow, that was pretty. No, no. Listen, LeSean Jackson, I love that move, baby. Make us all proud. Throw it up top. It's 6.
Dave, you think this will actually help the Ravens? I think LeSean is one of the greatest deep ball wide receivers in the history of the sport, but clearly the Ravens need some help.
It says a lot about LeSean Jackson that, he was drafted in 08, 09? 08?
Still going.
And it's not only still going, but, can still be that guy that scares the defense. If you just have to pay attention to him and he can get 1-2 chunk gains a game, absolutely he can help the Ravens.
Joy, meaningful or not?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. To Dave's point, just having him out there, you have to respect him alone. So even if he's not going to be a volume guy, which is not what they're bringing him in for, having that deep threat is important.
Shady, where do you put D-Jack when you talk about the greatest deep threat receivers of all time?
Number 1.
Oh, I go Randy and then I go D-Jack.
No, I go LeSean Jackson. Randy Moss is a better receiver. Of course. Yeah, but this deep pass, going deep, find that ball, hand-eye coordination.
D-Jack could track the ball.
This dude is 5'10". Randy Moss was 6'4". He easy to get a jump ball. They call that get mossed on.
Eagles, Washington, first play of the game.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was 2012. Mike Vick, play action to Shady, drops back, and, just go Google it. Do yourself
one of the prettiest throws of all time.
And Google it. Dak is back. Cool. But there's a lot more to it than that. If Dak is coming back as one of the top 10 quarterbacks in football, which he is supposed to be.
10?
Top 10. If he's coming back as one of the top 10 quarterbacks in football, he can't just come back and be basic. He can't just come back and be Rice. What do I mean by that? Rice takes on the flavor of whatever you add to it. Put some curry sauce on rice, cool. You go to Africa, you put some stew on rice. Rice takes on the flavor of what else you add to it. Cooper Rush was Rice. Defense was great. Oh, okay, we great. Defense was cool against the Eagles. Ooh. Dak Prescott can't be Rice. Dak Prescott has to be the whole meal. He's a $160 million quarterback. He has to be the entire meal. Appetizer, main course, dessert. It's not enough for Dak to come back and just look like Cooper. Sorry, Dak. It's not what they paid you for. To me, Dak has to come back and ball. But, Joy, what does Dak need to do in his return to you?
I disagree. I think Dak needs to be Rice, but there's lots of different kinds of rice.
There are coconut rice smacks.
There's a lot of different kinds of rice, and people do eat it as a whole meal.
They do.
Okay, I happen to love rice. I actually had some rice, some leftover rice.
I'm in a low-carb diet.
Who's on a diet?
I always am.
I'm on a diet. I'm so heavy right now.
I look like I need to be on a diet?
No, respectfully, no.
I'm messing with you. I'm not on a diet, though. And I do eat rice, and I love rice, but I disagree. I think Dak does need to be Rice. This is how this offense works. He needs to be Rice with a little bit of a little something, a little special. What is that? What you put in there?
I mean, nobody eats plain rice, right? You put something on it.
You would hope.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just, it's just.
You would hope.
I can't eat plain rice.
So you really think.
And then you put everything else on top.
That can be plain?
Too much food stuff. Dak needs to be really efficient, smart, not turn the ball over, follow the game plan, don't push, and sprinkle in some special when it's necessary. Don't make mistakes. The reason that they won without him being in there is because Cooper Rush followed the game plan. He didn't do anything extra. What happened when the game plan got a little disrupted by that Eagles defense? Disaster, right? Why? Because he didn't have the experience and he was pressing. Dak Prescott doesn't need to do anything extra. We talked about this extensively. When the Cowboys offense was flying, Dak's putting up crazy numbers, it didn't amount to them winning. True. Because that's not a balanced offense. They need to have a balanced offense. Dak doesn't need to do anything but show up and do the right thing.
Shady, Dak Prescott making $40 million annually. Off the top of my head, I haven't fact-checked this, but Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, all of those quarterbacks are in that $40+ million range. Right. They have high expectations. Yeah. To whom much is given, much is required. Where do you stand? What does Dak need to do? Just be like Joy said, or need to do more?
I like your recipe, right? I like what she's cooking, right? I think with Dak Prescott, I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know if he's top 10. That's a bit much. But for them to win games, Let your defense go out there and win the games. Let them be the superstars of the team. Let Dak have the same type of game plan like Cooper Rush, right? Maybe a little bit bigger, take a couple more shots, but make it safe. Run the ball well, and let him be, more consistent on his passing, more consistent on his playmaking. Things like that matter. So now you don't have all this pressure on Dak to be the $160 million quarterback. Let's go out there and just play. Take it a little bit off his shoulders. For example, the Dallas Cowboys are a type of franchise, they just want to win. The other guys you talked about, they got to put numbers up, right? We don't think the Cardinals are going to win no games. Little man be running around doing his little thing. Kyler Murray, I don't call him little man, sorry. But Kyler Murray be doing his little thing. That's cool. It's flashy, but we want to win. Dallas Cowboys is a franchise that has to win. They have to go back to the old school days. And the way you do that is you run the ball with your 2 running backs. You got a solid number 1, for the most part, CeeDee Lamb. And you let your defense go out there and win the games. If not, you'll be looking at me smiling, waving around with the Philadelphia Eagles, winning the division.
Are we going to have harmony on a Cowboys segment right now? Like, this is music to my ears. I don't have a food analogy, but I love it. Like, no, I agree with you. And honestly, I came in here prepared to say I just need him to do better than the stat line Shady keeps giving me every week.
And what is that?
134 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. And you know what? He played poorly against the Bucs because he was pressing, because he felt the pressure of Amari's gone. Tyron Smith is hurt. I don't know if we can run the ball against this Bucs front. I got to do it all. And he looked awful. He was one of the worst games he's ever played. And I've seen him play every game. And that was one of the worst games of his career. He needs to avoid doing that. And I think he can. And let's keep this in mind, too. You guys both played. Jerry Jones saying no limitations doesn't mean anything. His thumb is going to be not 100% right. So I am not putting the bar way, way up here, at least not to start. I need him to come in, play clean, play smart, win the game. It's as easy as it needs to be.
Shady, the reason I'm most excited to have you on this show, because you can be real. I played, but you played at a all-time leading rushing level. You played at a high, high level. I'll speak to it, you speak back. What we're saying right now is cute on television, right? Dak Prescott just needs to be efficient. He just needs to kind of be a highlighted version of Cooper. To me, in my experience in the locker room, that's not real. The most paid players got to be big time. They got to be flashy.
That's true. That's
on and off the field.
Right,
it was you. It was Jason Peters.
DJ.
It was Deshaun Jackson. At times, it was Jeremy Maclin. There was never a game where it was like, hey, Shady, just go out there and be like Chris Polk. No knock on Chris Polk. He was our backup running back. But Shady, you're called Shady.
Right.
Be special. Dak Prescott, to me, does not have the luxury to just go out there and throw for 250 yards, a touchdown, maybe 2 touchdowns, no picks. Dak Prescott is supposed to be special.
Wait. Before I answer your question, because you didn't ask yet, do you think he's special?
He's shown special tendencies.
Do you think he's special? Because all them guys you talked about, those dudes are special. And everybody in the locker room and the opposing teams think he's special. I think the Eagles don't think he's special. I think the Giants don't think he's special. I think, like they think how I think. I think he's a good quarterback.
I hope the Giants think he's special. They can't beat him.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They got Dayball. They got a whole new coach. What are they, 5-1 right now?
Yeah. With a loss to the Cowboys.
Okay, well, that's cool.
A loss to the Cowboys.
That's one game. That's cool. Anyway.
So you're saying he's not special?
I don't think he's special. I think he's a good quarterback. Special. Hold up. We all think that Dak is special.
Okay, now we're getting off the rails here because if Josh Allen is special, then I don't think Dak is that. I don't think Dak is a runaway Mack truck who also has a howitzer for an arm. No. But Dak has shown incredible poise. He's got way better accuracy than he gets credit for. And that stuff matters. No, he is not the most...
He's biased.
He was a 4th-round pick. I don't think anybody's arguing that he has these, special traits that nobody else has. If anything, that makes it more impressive that he's been able to make it work as well as he has.
Here's my point. Last year, he ended the season with 5 touchdowns against the Eagles, 3 touchdowns against the Giants. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe another 4 touchdowns and no interceptions, by the way, against the Washington Commanders at the time. I don't know who they were. Anyway, that's what Dak Prescott is capable of.
Okay.
I think he needs to do that.
I think he needs to be Cooper Rush, but just a little better. I think he's better Cooper Rush.
Okay.
Real quick, they've been winning. They've been winning games.
Okay, so that's my question to you guys, because you brought up the locker room. Because I mean,
the locker room saying it.
I would disagree, because I don't know what's more special than winning. We've been talking incessantly about how impressive Cooper Rush has been.
Right.
Cooper Rush hasn't been doing anything but win. He's not been doing anything
with no turnovers.
special.
With no turnovers.
His stats are pedestrian. The only thing he wasn't doing was turning the ball over. You think the guys in the locker room aren't happy that Cooper Rush was there? They were winning.
She's right.
She's right.
She's right. Here's where I am. I'm thinking.
Toast that. What's in there?
Bang. If I'm Dak, is what I'm thinking of. If I'm Dak, he ain't had nothing to do but rehab and watch TV. Think about the quarterbacks that win, but aren't the reason their teams win. Let's start with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Perfect example.
How do we talk about Jimmy? He's a good quarterback, but we also say, he's limited. They win because of Debo. They win because of Kittle. They win because of the defense. Heck, think about Troy Aikman, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's another one.
What do we say about Troy now that he's not on Fox? What do we say about Troy? He just got them rings because of who he played with.
The team, but the players love him.
Sure.
That's all that matters.
If you are Dak Shady,
you say what I say.
You've been there. You've been the guy. You had 5 Pro Bowls or 6 of them. That matters.
I think like getting paid is what it is. Like he earned the money that he got through his performances year after year by being consistent, by being a leader of a team. It's not the easiest team to be the quarterback of.
True.
The Dallas Cowboys quarterback job is different than every other quarterback job in the league, whether we want to admit it or not.
No, that's true.
It's just different. And he plays that role perfectly. Mm-hmm. He's good with Jerry. He's good with the rest of the team. He says the right thing. He throws water on the fire when it's going bad. He is consistent. What he's paid does not need to amount to style points. You don't get like a W with like neon around it. It
just 500 yards.
Right. He won or he didn't. We don't need to put him in the category of Josh Allen or Russ when he was playing great or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. I don't need him to be that. Win the game. But I think to me, it's not like I'm like, he went out there and put up 250 yards, which would be better than any of the numbers that Cooper Rush put up, correct, in the games that he won. I don't need style points. Win the game. Wins, losses, especially when it matters most. That's all I care about with him, and that's what he gets paid to do.
And check this out. The style points can come within a 250-yard box score. You're going to hate this. I think your standard for special is too high. Because this is the difference between Dak and Cooper Rush. Zeke gets stuffed on first down or there's a holding penalty and it's 1st and 20, you're like, oh, man, this series is probably over. Like, we're probably punting this. Like, Cooper Rush isn't digging us out of a 1st and 20, 2nd and 16 hole. Dak Prescott can. Dak Prescott can make the 3rd and 11 throw, thread it between 2 defenders, and keep the drive moving. He did it all last year. I can go up and I got the receipts.
We got to watch some tape together.
I got the receipts. He can do that stuff. And no, is it going to lead SportsCenter? Absolutely not. If it keeps the drive moving time and time again and gets them in the end zone, that's special.
We need more screens. Dak, we need more screens.
Dave, let me ask you this.
I'm going to watch some Dak tape with you.
Let me ask you this and take us home. What you know about Dak, and you've known him since he was drafted to the Dallas Cowboys, you all are friendly at a minimum. From what you know about Dak, do you think he would be content reverting back to a 2016 caliber season? He got an MVP vote, but he only had 23 passing touchdowns. Dak Prescott last year had 37 and 48 or 4,900 yards. Do you think that Dak Prescott would be content? Because that's really what we're talking about. Is Dak going to be content reverting back to rookie year Dak?
But for
statistically.
I mean, if they win 13 games, I'm sure he would be fine, but, he doesn't need to. What? I mean, do the math over, he's not going to play 17 games now, but, if you do the math, if you're averaging between 250 and 300, you're going to get there. And if they trust him to throw more in the red zone, he'll get his touchdowns too. Dak can have a statistically very nice season without giving up any of the stuff that they do well. And I promise you, as he has said before, he doesn't care about stats as much as wins, because if the stats are crazy, then the offense isn't balanced. If they're running the ball the way they've been doing it with Coop and they're winning games, Dak's going to get his numbers and they're going to be fine.
I think for him, for that team to be successful, can't have more than 30 attempts.
Passing attempts.
Yeah.
Shady, how much pressure
was like that? You don't like that?
I put it this way. I mean,
you got to tame him.
Honestly, if you're throwing less than 30 times in a game, it means you have the lead anyway. It means you're just rolling.
That means you're running the ball. So I said that, so you got to run the ball for him to be successful.
I think where I take issue with that is you can win with Dak throwing more than that, and they've done it plenty of times. But I agree with you that it's a recipe for success in football in general. The more you're running the ball, the more leads you have.
It's not that I'm an Eagle guy, which I am. It's not that I'm the all-time lead rusher of the Eagles that I am. It's not that. It's just because the last couple times I watched Dak play, I'm just being honest, right? We're transparent here. America hit 100 yards.
134.
Let me finish.
You're shorting him 34.
134 yards. No touchdowns in the pick. Okay, and then if we rewind it even more, the second time I watched him play, he played against the Niners, and Dallas got whooped on. What was his stat line there? Wasn't good.
One touchdown, one pick.
Come on, man. That's so. I'm not trying to like bash him because I think he's a good quarterback. But I think when you try to put him on his pedestal, I just keep like the flashbacks. Oh man, the Niners slamming him in the end zone.
This is what Joy was talking about. That we're stuck watching Russ. This is exactly what Joy was talking about.
Get them Cowboys
we're stuck
on TV.
watching Russ on national TV.
I'm trying to figure out why we don't talk about that with Aaron Rodgers because their season ended the same way.
We want to see more Parsons getting sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence getting sacks.
No, I agree with you.
Pollard get touchdowns.
I don't think Dak needs to do anything more. He needs to be a little more special than Cooper.
Cooper Rush.
He can make special plays while playing the same sort of offense that Cooper Rush was playing.
We will see, Dak. We will see. You getting paid special money. I want to see you be special.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.